Stephen A. Smith is one of the most hated people in sports media, and today we'll discuss why. We've all watched this guy dominate ESPN for over a decade, screaming his way into our living rooms, podcasts, and even political debates. He's got that larger-than-life persona, the kind that makes you either love him or want to mute the TV forever. He's the loudmouth legend who's built an empire on hot takes. Let's be real, he's also built a mountain of enemies along the way. You know the guy, always yelling, always opinionated, and somehow always in the middle of some beef. For every fan who tunes in for his hot takes, there's a legion of people who can't stand him, and it's clear to see why. This isn't just about being loud or opinionated. It's about biases, feuds, fabrications, and a whole lot of hypocrisy that rubs people the wrong way. And if you thought his old beefs were wild, we'll touch on the fresh drama with LeBron James, where Stephen A. turns family matters into his personal spotlight grab. The guy is relentless. His addiction to the chaos is next level.
I don't like it. Not a little bit.
Like a real housewife, he loves the drama. The now infamous courtside confrontation happened 7 months ago, and Stephen A. just can't let it go. With his bold opinions and brash hot takes, he's inked a massive 5-year, $100 million deal, making him the highest paid analyst on ESPN and the third highest paid sports media personality behind Charles Barkley and Tom Brady. But is it for his valuable insights, or because he's a loudmouth on TV? Yes, he's a media spectacle, but at what cost? We're talking feuds that spill onto the court, fabrications that undermine his credibility, biases so bad they're uglier than a Shawn Marion jump shot, and a personality that's louder than a Jersey girl's makeup. Let's start with the obvious. Stephen A. Smith's personality is like a siren blaring in your ear during a quiet drive. The man is loud, obnoxiously loud, yelling opinions like they're divine truth. But it's not just volume. It's the way he yells every opinion like it's the gospel, turning sports debates into shouting matches. Fans on Reddit have been venting about this for ages. One user put it bluntly, he's one of those guys who thinks he knows a lot about a lot, but he's often wrong. Another joked, loud noises, channeling Steve Carell from Anchorman and echoing what so many of us feel. His style disrupts your peace. Imagine flipping on ESPN for some chill analysis, and instead, you're hit with Stephen A. screaming about the Cowboys or LeBron like the world's ending. It's exhausting. As one commenter said, nothing but yelling hot takes for clicks. This isn't accidental, it's his brand, but it makes him come off as a blowhard. Stephen is that kid who was too short to play ball, so he makes himself loud and obnoxious so people pay attention to him. But the hate goes deeper. Stephen A.'s takes are often biased. He hates irrationally and is just plain wrong at times, which drives real sports fans nuts. He's accused of picking favorites, hating on certain players without reason, and choosing bias when it suits him. On Quora, people roast him for being a clown who's biased and a loudmouth. Bottom line, he's a first-class jerk. Take his endless LeBron bashing. It's like a personal vendetta. In one X post, someone captured it with a video of him walking onto sets just to hate on King James. God, I hate Stephen A. Smith, screamed another post with a clip of him ranting. And it's not just fans. Athletes call him out too. Tyrese Halliburton once said pundits don't always know what they're talking about. And Stephen A. fired back in a fiery on-air meltdown, saying,
My brother, I'm not going away.
No, you're not.
I'm gonna be here for a while. You said read the news? I'm gonna be here for a while.
But come on, the guy's basketball background is sketchy at best. He was a scrub in college, yet he acts like an expert. As one X user pointed out, what has Stephen A. Smith really done hands-on with the game of basketball for his opinion to actually matter? He's literally just loud, hot air. His errors are legendary, calling Jimmy Butler a perimeter shooter or botching NFL rosters. It's like he's winging it, and people hate that fake authority. Speaking of fakes, let's talk about the fabrications. Jason Whitlock called Stephen A. an industry plant with a bogus past. Whitlock fact-checked his memoir and found holes like exaggerating basketball stories. He absolutely fabricated his whole basketball background like a Lifetime movie. At Go to Next Post. This stings because Stephen A positions himself as the ultimate insider, but critics say it's all smoke. In a heated exchange, Whitlock said Stephen A made up a completely fake history about himself and wrote it in a book. He's hypocritical too. He blasts athletes for nepotism, like LeBron with Bronny, but displays the same bias with his daughters. A hypocrite because he pushes the same nepotism for his kids that he criticized LeBron for, one critic fumed. This kind of double standard fuels the hate. People see through the act and feel betrayed by someone who's supposed to be authentic. Now, the feuds. Oh man. Stephen A has more beef than a steakhouse. He's clashed with everyone from Terrell Owens to Kwame Brown to his own on-air host Max Kellerman, often turning personal. In one infamous rant, he went after LeBron without mercy, saying he didn't bring up personal stuff like his son's health or absences from events, but implying he could. Vibe magazine listed 5 big feuds, including one with T.O., where Stephen A stood firm but often looked petty. And his meltdown over Whitlock fact-checking him, he called him a fat bastard and the devil on his podcast. Whitlock fired back, saying, "I've never seen anyone this high profile tape something that unprofessional and air it." These clashes make him seem thin-skinned, especially since he dishes it out time and time again, but apparently he can't take the heat himself. Fans on Let'sRun.com summed it up. Both his obnoxiously loud, attitude-filled voice and his ugly, rat-like face annoy me to no end. Ouch. His LeBron vendetta is epic, and frankly, endless. It started off all chummy in the early days, with interviews where they seemed to genuinely respect each other. But things got tense over the years, like back in 2017 when Stephen A claimed that LeBron wanted to beat Kyrie's ass after the Cleveland split and Kyrie's trade request. If Kyrie Irving was in front of LeBron James right now, LeBron James would be tempted to beat his ass, Stephen A said, citing sources close to the team. LeBron clapped back on social media. "Not facts, people. Boo, get another source." And if you want fresh proof that Stephen A can't quit the rage bait game, look no further than his 2025 blow-up with LeBron. Straight family drama turned into endless TV gold for this attention hog. It kicked off on January 28, 2025, with Stephen A on First Take pleading with LeBron as a father to protect his son from NBA exposure, saying,
I am pleading with LeBron James as a father. Stop this. Stop this. We all know that Bronny James is in the NBA because of his dad.
That led to the now infamous on-court confrontation on March 6, 2025, during a game timeout, where LeBron approached Stephen A courtside.
And I love how Markieff Morris is just there listening, but obviously whoever filmed the video wasn't expecting LeBron to go up to Stephen A. Smith.
Stephen A fired back on his show the next day, saying he'd swing if LeBron ever touched him, even comparing it to the Will Smith-Chris Rock slap scenario.
Because had that man put his hands on me, I would have immediately swung on him. Immediately.
Then continued to milk the incident on air for months. LeBron then mocked his boxing skills on Instagram by posting a decade-old video of Stephen A training, captioning it, "Womp womp womp." Stephen A admitted it was very embarrassing, but also tried to defend himself while calling LeBron petty.
He puts out some page about me, boxing and all of this other stuff from a decade ago with 2 torn rotator cuffs. Fine, no problem. It's very, very embarrassing video. I'll be the first to say and all that stuff, even though I like it to be left up there. That's how petty you've become? You're LeBron James? You that butthurt over the things that I'm saying?
He even suggested LeBron's mad because he ranks him number 2 all time, not the GOAT.
This man is in his feelings. I wonder why. Could it be because I don't believe you're the GOAT? Because I'll never believe you're the GOAT? Because I have you number 2 at all times?
LeBron finally dropped his side on the Pat McAfee show. He clowned Stephen A for his obsession with the drama.
He's like on a Taylor Swift tour run right now.
Oh yeah.
Roasting how Stephen A kept dragging the feud across every show, podcast, and segment like it was his Eras tour. He even acknowledged how this was all fuel for Stephen A's ego parade.
It started off with, I didn't want to address it.
Yeah, sure.
I didn't want to address it. I wasn't going to address it. But since the video came out, I feel the need to address it.
Hey, well, viral. You what about
Are you kidding me? If there's one person that couldn't wait till the video to drop so you can address it, it's your ass. Like, seriously?
But it gets juicier. On October 20th, Stephen A. dropped by Carmelo Anthony's podcast, 7 p.m. in Brooklyn, and unleashed the real venom, straight up admitting,
I don't like his ass. Not a little bit.
He went deeper, accusing LeBron of living a double life, all smiles and GOAT vibes in the public, but allegedly plotting behind the scenes to sabotage his career for over a decade, and even goes full conspiracy theory mode about the confrontation.
Do you think you felt set up in that moment?
Damn right.
Okay.
Damn right I did.
Why does this scream hate bait? Because Stephen A. loves the spotlight. He turns one comment into a multi-month saga, dragging LeBron's legacy and family just to stay relevant on every platform, from ESPN to podcasts. It's not journalism, it's ego-fueled provocation, and fans are over it. At this point, it's a one-sided feud. LeBron mentioned Stephen A. maybe a couple times, whereas Stephen A. rants about LeBron almost every day. Who, really, is keeping this feud alive? Now, let's move to his beef with Stephon Marbury. Remember when Stephen A. went after him during his Knicks days? He straight up dragged Marbury as a bust, saying, this is a guy 10 years in the league, 6 years in the draft lottery, he's done absolutely nothing. But it got real ugly when Marbury clapped back during the Kyrie Irving drama. Marbury called out Stephen A. for his constant Kyrie hate, saying,
to hear Stephen A. Smith talk about Kyrie Irving the way how he's talking about him, calling him selfish. This man has done so much stuff for human beings and giving back and trying to help so many different people, all different cultures, not just black people. This is what happens when you have people like this guy who's animated, not realistic about what it is that he speaks and talks about. He played a little bit of basketball, but come on, serious? You letting this guy talk to you about sports?
And even went as far as to say,
man, y'all need to defund his voice.
Stephen A., being the class act that he is, got super personal.
Stephon Marbury has had a problem with me since 2009 because we thought he was a bit bizarre when he was eating Vaseline, literally on video and what have you. And then obviously because of that, the level of awareness with, issues of mental health came in the fold. And so that's nothing to joke about.
Marbury wasn't having it, firing back.
Are you talking about me being depressed because I was crying about my dad? Are you serious? Like, that's what you went on national TV to do, to tell people and try to make me look a certain way by talking about something was wrong with me because I was depressed? You talked about my depression, my mental, me being depressed. You tried to make me look bad on national TV by saying I was depressed and I was eating Vaseline. How low are you?
And he nailed it, accusing Stephen A. of constantly tearing down black athletes. When are we gonna defund his voice is right. Come on, Stephen A. Mocking someone's mental health is low. That's not analysis, that's just being a bully hiding behind a desk. Next, let's talk about Stephen A.'s beef with Kwame Brown back in 2008. Remember when the Lakers traded Brown for Pau Gasol? Stephen A. went nuclear on ESPN.
Kwame Brown is gone. The City of Angels, Hollywood, just should be celebrated. Throw a parade already, whether you win a championship or not. This man was a bona fide scrub. He can't play. No disrespect whatsoever, but I'm sorry to tell everybody the truth. The man cannot play the game of basketball. He has small hands. He can't catch the ball. He's got bad feet. He can't really move, even though he's mobile. Doesn't really know what he's doing. Doesn't have a post move that he puts to memory that he can do 2 times in a row. He has no game whatsoever. Plays no defense, doesn't have the heart, the passion, or anything that comes with it.
No disrespect? Come on, that was pure savagery. and it stuck with Brown for years. Fast forward, and Stephen A. Smith admits he regrets it, saying on Podcast P,
"Is there any moments in your career that you wish you could do over?"
There's several. Kwame Brown, I wish I could do that over. I wouldn't do it. I know what I said. I did mean it. I ain't gonna sit here and tell you I ain't mean the shit I said. But I didn't know it was gonna be like this. Remember, I said it before Twitter, Facebook. And I didn't know 15 years later they gonna have memes and videos. And when I see what he says, I realize how hurt he is.
But here's the thing. Regrets don't erase the damage. And honestly, can you blame him? This is prime Stephen A. He blasts players like they're nothing, then acts shocked when the backlash hits. It makes you wonder, how many careers has this guy ruined just for clicks? Let's talk Terrell Owens. Back in 2019 on First Take, T.O. straight up ethered Stephen A. during a Colin Kaepernick debate, saying,
"Max almost seems blacker than you, Stephen A."
Boom, right in the field. Stephen A. tried to respond, saying that T.O. crossed the line, but the damage was done. Fans ate it up, with one even saying, "One of the best receivers ever said a white guy is blacker than you." And everyone agrees too. That's tough. The animosity lingers. T.O. even said,
as he said in his podcast, we don't ever have to speak again.
Okay.
Never ever.
Why the hate? Because Stephen A. loves playing the gatekeeper of realness. But when someone flips the script, he gets petty. It's provocative, sure, but it exposes that ego big time. Now, Kevin Durant. When KD joined the Warriors in 2016, Stephen A. called it
the weakest move I've ever seen from a superstar.
KD's mom even confronted him about it. Years later, Stephen A. kept jabbing at KD's leadership, saying he's been very lacking in inspiration. Durant wasn't having it, firing back in an interview with The Athletic, saying, "I don't understand how people even listen to Stephen A. I've been in the league for 18 years, and I've never seen Stephen A. anywhere but on TV talking trash about players. He's a clown to me. He's always been a clown." Stephen A. tried to take the high road.
If you're expecting me to reciprocate with that kind of pettiness and childishness, it's not gonna happen.
But come on, this isn't a feud. It's free promo for Stephen A. Smith. The man's an attention addict. He calls players weak, then acts shocked when they clap back. But that's his game. He stirs the pot, plays the victim, and cashes the check. This man will do anything to be on the front page. Enter JJ Redick, who's gone toe-to-toe with Stephen A. several times on First Take, from JJ schooling Stephen A. on the rules of the NBA to calling his rebuttals the worst rebuttals he's ever heard. Fans loved it, calling out Stephen A.'s less than mediocre college playing career. But it's all summed up perfectly in one direct and meaningful statement by JJ.
I mean this in the nicest way possible to both of you, but listening to each of you right now, it's very obvious that you've played zero high-level basketball, and you do not understand the requirements of doing that. And I do mean that in a nice way.
Way back in his Philly days, Stephen A. took shots at Glenn Robinson, claiming he disrespected Coach Randy Ayers, but not George Karl. And because it's Stephen A., he tried to make it a race thing. Big Dog responded appropriately and even challenged Stephen A. to an MMA fight.
He said some things about me in one of his articles, and I saw him in Denver before the game, and the guy speaks to me. And a few words was exchanged, and I ended up in his face. That's the reason why he despised me.
When you hear him inject the racial component into it, he basically said that you were nice to a white coach, mean to a black coach. Do you feel like that takes it a one step too far in this whole back and forth you guys have?
Well, like I said, that's really not the reason. That's the reason that he's trying to portray. But the real reason he despised me is because I got into his face. Right. And it almost got physical. And we know what the outcome would have been if things would have got physical. I just want to say one more thing. I mean, I want the brother to despise me for another 12 years. So, I mean, you know, if you really want to, I mean, we can set something up and put it on TMZ Sports, and we can take it to the cage. Let's get it off the chest, my brother.
I'm sure a lot of people would love to challenge Stephen A. to a boxing or cage match. Stephen A. later apologized via his son, but then ripped Robinson again on air. Hate-worthy? Absolutely. Kyrie Irving got the full Stephen A. treatment during his COVID absences.
I think Kyrie Irving should retire. I think he should announce his retirement today. Clearly, you don't want to play basketball bad enough.
Kyrie responds via X, I'm not around many 50-plus-year-olds that speak and act like you do, but I'm sure my father and uncles can meet you on your level. And of course, in response, Stephen A goes on a podcast to discuss the matter.
When that stuff happened with Kyrie, you know, the father loving his son is coming to his defense by sending me text messages that, quite frankly, I didn't appreciate. It took on a life of its own. And we were at the Staples Center. Kyrie rolls up on me. He's like, you still got that same energy face to face? I said, I'm standing here. And he was like, it's really not about me anymore. And I looked at him and I said, you're right. It had become about me. Kyrie Irving is right. And I called his father and we resolved everything and we met face to face. And it's no problem. I said to him, this notion that there's going to be personal animus or whatever, I thought I was just doing my job.
But Stephen A always does that. He loves to say he's just doing his job when faced with the very real consequences of his actions. Then there's Max Kellerman, booted from First Take after tension boiled over. Stephen A admitted,
when I went upstairs to management, my exact words were, look, if he's that important to you, give him First Take.
Fans called it out. Stephen A. Smith's ego got in the way. Trigger, that T.O. blacker than you comment. Stephen A. also said,
I didn't like working with him, man. It's just that damn simple. I didn't like it.
And they haven't spoken since. Oof, ego on full display. And he pushed out a co-host because of it. And then there's the Serena Williams moment, when Stephen A. decided to throw shade where nobody asked him to. He commented on her Super Bowl halftime performance, and then quickly backtracked when confronted by her Reddit co-founder husband, Alexis Ohanian.
No,
that's what he said.
If I'm married and my wife is going to join trolling her ex, go back to his ass. Because clearly you don't belong with me. What you worried about him for and you with me?
I gotta get that link back. Stephen A. Smith, I think you had some marriage advice for me. Is that right? Or
well, you know what? Listen, I did it. People, headlines are headlines. We can get into that another time, but I was
hoping you were going to be here.
I am not qualified. Married? Right. Oh no, not me.
Yeah, that didn't go over well with people. Social media lit him up, dragging Stephen A. for getting involved in someone else's marriage. One viral reply summed it up perfectly. As someone who's never been married, sit this one out. Alexis later takes to X. I get it. You're 57 and life didn't turn out the way you imagined. That kind of disappointment must be exhausting. You're the embodiment of peaked in high school, spending decades chasing validation from strangers through likes and digital hugs. Start by working on yourself first. And for once, Stephen A. went quiet. A rare L for a man who never misses a chance to angrily shout his opinion. But really, that's classic Stephen A. He'll cross into personal territory just to spark outrage. It's not about the topic, it's about the reaction. That's peak hate bait, and he knows exactly what he's doing. Then there's his political pivot, which has amplified the hate tenfold. Stephen A. was built for sports, not the Senate. But lately, he's everywhere, ranting about Democrats shoving crappy presidential nominees down voters' throats. In a clip, he blasts the party.
Because y'all are too busy trying to pick candidates for the American people instead of listening to the American people tell you who they want. The last Democrat that the American people told you they wanted.
He even floated running for president in 2028, saying, time to stop messing around. Hate the thought of being a politician, but sick of this mess. Critics called it absurd. Letting him on political talk shows is like sending prime Tom Brady into the CFL, one X user quipped. His ignorance shines through. He's no expert, yet he dives in, criticizing figures like Senator Alex Padilla as out of control.
Could you have waited till she finished to ask your questions? You, a United States Senator, couldn't compose yourself. Couldn't do that, huh?
People hate this overreach. As one said, politics isn't a game, and that public policy needs real experts. It's seen as grifting, pushing misinformation or pandering. Full-on grifter, targeting HBCUs to push misinformation captured in a video. It's messy, and it alienates fans who want him to stick to sports. Finally, the big one. Stephen A. is ruining sports television. He's overexposed. He's on ESPN, podcasts, panels, even analyzing non-sports drama. He's burned out. once admitting on air,
Yeah, I need to be carried today. America.
Come on, Kyrie.
I'm tired as hell.
Then he's caught playing solitaire during the NBA Finals and even checking his emails on air.
KD is the only
hold
asset
on.
you have. You got to get. I can't, Molly. It's on vibrate. Just relax.
No, it's not that. You're just close it. Just trust me.
My phone?
Just close it all.
My phone.
Yeah, just put it all down.
That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Well, okay. Well,
Okay,
Stephen A., they're zooming in on it.
Okay, all right.
You can see your text messages, everything. I'm trying to
There
help
are
you
no
out.
text messages. This
Stephen
is-
A., your computer. It's
Oh.
all on TV. Just close it. I'm looking out for you. Try to be smooth. Jeez.
What a Friday show, guys. A nice peek behind the scenes. Back to the Suns conversation for a second.
It's unprofessional. ESPN's model prioritizes hosts like him, but it dilutes analysis. His style of TV is what brought on the worst of sports TV. Nothing but yelling hot takes for clicks, a Redditor said. Critics say he's not top-tier knowledgeable, yet he's everywhere. Stephen A. Smith is ruining sports television, the video title screams, and many agree. Even halftime panels with him feel like they were created in a laboratory by scientists who hate basketball. So why do people hate Stephen A. Smith? It's the combo. The yelling, biases, feuds, lies, political clowning, and media circus. He's the king of controversy. But at what cost? Perfectly put in a rant by Jason Page, Stephen A. Smith isn't a journalist. He's a sports version of a Rachel Maddow or Sean Hannity. He's a talk show host. While Stephen A. could claim he is a journalist all he wants and whenever it suits him, those journalist days are behind him. He's the most hated because he represents everything wrong with modern media. Loud over substance, personal over professional. Though it was said as a joke, Kevin Hart summed up our feelings towards Stephen A. perfectly.
People might walk up to you occasionally and they might want to just take a picture with you and say, congratulations, great work. With me, they want to debate. My life is harder.
Well, Stephen, here's what I want you to realize. A, you're lying. Nobody comes up to you. Okay? Stephen A. Smith does not have one fan. Not one. There's never been a request for a picture. There's never been a request for a debate. You are you're snap finger famous. That's the guy. What's the guy that's on, what's the guy that's on the thing, on the ESPN thing. That's what they do.
Thanks for watching I Call Game. Drop your thoughts below, subscribe, and hit that bell. Is Stephen A. overhated or deserving? Let me know.